Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the top 10 best point guards in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM, including gambling-only cards. And I will say, this list is the smallest when it comes to gambling cards of any of these lists, for sure. Like, the amount of actual cards on this list that are gambling-only players is a lower number than what has been the last few. Well, really, than it's going to be on any of these other positions, because a lot of the other positions are significantly more dominated, in my opinion, by that than the point guard position is. So before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 25,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, tons of consistent daily MyTEAM content. We'd really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it and let's discuss. So starting off with number 10, we are going to go with Jrue Holiday. Y'all are going to see a lot of non-gambling PGs that were on yesterday's non-gambling PG list on this list for sure, but there are some good gambling ones as well. 6'5" with a 6'7" wingspan, hotspots from literally everywhere. 27 Hall of Fame badges include a 95 speed, 94 3 ball, 85 driving dunk, defensively very good, Huff bulldozer, posterizer, precision dunker, agent 3 catch, limitless range, blow by, speed booster, unpluckable, and a ton of versatile defense at 6'5" with a good release. Really solid card. He gets a lot of things done. He's just not the best in terms of shot creation. He's a good slasher, but he's not unbelievably elite. He's a very good shooter, but he's not, and he's a very solid playmaker, but he's not unbelievably elite in those areas either. I think it's fair to put him at number 10. That seems like a pretty fair spot for this card. I'm gonna go Ja at number 9. I will say I had Ja below below Jrue Holiday on the non-gambling point guard list that I made yesterday, but I changed my mind because the thing about this Ja is stat and badge wise, he's basically perfect. Yes, he's only 6'2", but his player build is not tiny. He's got every single important badge. And then his SIGs are literally basically perfect. Kyrie dribble style, Trey escape, John Wall drag back, and Jamal Murray behind the back with a really smooth release and normal fade. This is a much better shot creator, versatile ball handler, lead ball handler than a guy like Jrue Holiday. And I don't know if Jrue Holiday being 3 inches taller is enough to counteract that much of a statistical and especially badge and animation advantage. So in my opinion, I think it's totally fair to put Ja at number 9, even though he's only 6'2". Number 8 is going to be Sean Livingston at 6'8". 6'7" actually, but you're still getting a ton of size at the point guard position. That's the value to this card, really. Not to mention his release is very nice. Yes, he needs finishing badges added, which is strange because he's got a 95 driving dunk. I don't know why he doesn't have fast twitch, posterizer, precision dunker, rise up added as a base card, but you should add those and brick wall to make him perfectly complete. But he's got good shooting badges, great playmaking badges, great defense. SIGs could be a little better, but they're usable, especially with the D-Book dribble style. Decent SIGs, hard behind the back, pretty good animations, honestly. And then a release that is absolutely money as well. Very impressed by the Sean Livingston card. I did gameplay with him earlier today, and I thought he was super solid. So I think putting him at number 8 seems fair. Number 7 is going to be Devin Booker. D-Book is the first actual gambling PG on this list, and I just think, well, he needed better animations on this card. 6'5" with a 6'6" wingspan, does not have unbelievable size, but he does have great stats and badges. He's a versatile defender, has gold to movable enforcer. The card can compete. He's athletic, he's a great shooter, obviously, great speed, and great defender. D-Book based on very quick, and his own fade, which is maybe the best fade in the game, or at least one of them, obviously. But his SIGs can be better. His escape is not that great. His behind the back, also not very great. His SIGs definitely could be improved upon at this point in the year, and I think as a primary ball handler point guard, you want really good SIGs, and that's the thing that I would say is the complaint, and that's why he's only number 7. Honestly, kind of the same complaint with LaMelo Ball at number 6 is a lack of primary ball handler SIGs. Animation-wise and defensively, he is absolutely phenomenal. He's got really good stats and badges. He's very complete. Again, at 6'7", he's a really nice card. I feel like this card is like a better version of a Sean Livingston. He's a better slasher, better shooter. I mean, I guess he's got better badges. Slashing wise, actually a 5 lower driving dunk, but similar defensively and as a playmaker, and then honestly release wise relatively similar as well, even SIGs wise to a certain extent. D-Book dribble style, that's what Livingston has. Steph escape, not the best escape in the world, not awful. John Wall's drag back and a Tyrese Halliburton behind the back, that's not unbelievably great either though. It's like his SIGs could definitely be better between his dribble style, more so his escape and his behind the back, especially the behind the back could be a little better, I feel like, and his release also seems like it loads up a little bit. So I'm not the biggest LaMelo fan. I don't know, I just don't think he's that good. And these are a couple of the gambling point guards that have come out recently, but I don't think they're like unbelievably great. They're good cards, no doubt, but I think they're below some of these free point guards, like an Eddie Jones, for example. 6'6", more complete badge-wise than either D-Book and LaMelo, in my opinion, overall, but also better animations than them. Better SIGs, same dribble style, but Kemba escape, Jamal Murray behind the back, and John Wall drag back, as well as Pro 2 fade. So just better all-around animations. Yes, his release is not unbelievably great, but it's actually very smooth and easy, even if it's not the prettiest release in the game, and he's fast, great shooter, great dunker, great defender, and most importantly, has those near perfect dribble animations, and that really helps elevate this card compared to a guy like D-Book and LaMelo Ball. Number 4 is going to be Gilbert Arenas, Agent Zero. The reason that Gil gets over Eddie Jones is number 1, because I like his release better, and number 2, because he has Hoff Movable Enforcer. Despite being 2 inches shorter, I think they do very, very similar things. Stigs-wise are also pretty similar, although honestly, you could make an argument that Eddie Jones' Stigs are actually a little bit better, but I do think Gilbert Arenas is right there animation-wise, has a better release, and then has that Hoff Movable Enforcer, which is a very huge badge as well. Super complete stats and badges. I think Agent Zero is an absolute stud at the point guard position still, and I think definitely deserves to be a top 4 PG in the game. Number 3 is going to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's a very, very solid PG option at 6'6", so size provides value. He's like D-Book and LaMelo, but with better 6, basically, is how I would describe this card. Very similar to those guys, just more of a primary ball handler. He's got Jamal Murray behind the back instead of a mediocre behind the back. He's got Trey Escape instead of a mediocre escape. Kyrie dribble style instead of D-Book's dribble style, which is good, but not as good. Trey fade, top tier smooth release as well. Just overall, he is very, very complete and very good animation-wise in a way that neither of those cards truly are. And I think that elevates him a few spots and is the reason he is top 3 on this list. Number 2 is Clyde Drexler, who I literally believe is basically just SGA, but an inch taller and a little bit more athletic. They give you very similar things defensively. They have basically the same SIGs, and they honestly both have good releases and good fades. Clyde with Pro 2 instead of Trey, I think actually I prefer. Does maybe need handles for days on Hoff. That's a badge that I definitely would recommend putting on Hoff if you have it. I did it personally on my own Clyde, but I think he's better than SGA. And I think he's the best non-gambling point guard in the game. Unfortunately, the best gambling point guard in the game is Ben Simmons. 6'10", off-ball, switch-all, BS. That is why Ben Simmons is the best point guard in the game, in addition to his mashing ability and his dunking ability. He is not the best primary ball handler at the point guard position in the game, not the best shot creator at the point guard position in the game. To be fair, Kemba Escape, Pro 2 fade, hard mind in the back, John Wall drag back, give him solid SIGs, but they're not as good as some of the other cards, and I will say his release is not exceptional. But he's unbelievably athletic, he's a great playmaker, and an incredibly versatile good defender. And because of his size, switchability, and versatility, he is still the best point guard in the game, despite his lack of top-tier shot creation, or especially a top-tier release. But I think Ben is very counterable and very beatable. I don't think he's an overpowered card this year, at least not too overpowered, and I think that as a whole is a very, very good thing. So with that being said, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.